And here it is written, وَإِن تُقْسِطُوا فِي الْيَتَامَى فَانْكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ مَثْنَى وَثُلَاثَ وَرُبَعَ. So these orphan for women, Allah is asking men to marry 2s and 3s and 4. And in the previous Allah says you have the desire to marry them, but you do not marry them. So Allah have written down, you have the desire, you don't marry. You do not give them. You are asking about the, give us the fatwa, Prophet, give us the fatwa from Allah. Allah gave you the fatwa. And He explains your inner feelings. And that is why the whole women are orphans. That is why I told you in the lecture that the question was asked about the woman, but He classified woman as an orphan woman because He knows that the men population will be less, and He knows that the men are gays, and He knows there will be wars. So all the time women number will be in greater in the all times. So every man gets married to one woman, there will be billions of women still left behind. Who's going to take care of them? ذَلِكَ أَنَّ اللَّهَ تَعَالُوا, that it would be lowlier, you'll be lowlier, that you do not support these women. So this is the class, the last, I'm reading this last class is the Yatama, and every woman is a Yatama. Okay, now we were discussing about this 2s and 3s and 4 among the orphan women, and the orphan women are those women who in their lifetime they're not able to get husbands. They come in the category of orphan women. So now if somebody says that, since Allah says that I cannot be equitable, I can marry one. The Quran says if you fear that you cannot be equitable between the orphan woman, you can marry one. But in the Surah An-Nisa 4 ayah 129, وَلَن تَسْتَطِيعُوا أَن تَعْدِلُوا بَيْنَ النِّسَاءِ وَلَوْ حَرَصْتُمْ فَلَا تَمِيلُوا كُلَّ الْمَيْلِ فَتَذَرُوهَا كَالْمُعَلَّقَةِ وَإِن تُصْلِحُوا وَتَتَّقُوا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا. And you do not have the ability to be equitable between women. Even if you are eager or desirable, so you do not bending totally, then you leave her as suspended, and if you amend, correct and take guard, then surely Allah is forgiving, merciful. Now this ayah is referring to a person who is fearful to be equitable between women, to be equal rights between women. So Allah says, if you do not have the capability or the capacity or the ability to be equitable, he is not marrying more than one because he thinks he has to give equal love and affection, equal status, equal this and equal that. So Allah is telling you, informing us that you do not have the capability and the ability to be equitable between women. Even if you are eager or desirable, you try to the utmost, you can never be equitable with the woman, because you don't have the capability or ability. So because of this fear that I have to be equitable between women, I marry one. It has nothing to do about the woman, how women will react, and no, you have to judge that. Do you think you have to be equitable? So Allah is informing us, no man has the capability to be equitable, give equal rights, equal feelings, equal this and equal this between women. And because of that fear, he says, cannot marry, I only have one. If the fear he cannot remove, he can have one wife. Because Allah says you are fearful, if the fear is not removed, you can have one wife. But if some people remove the fear by this ayat, that you do not have the capability or ability to be equitable between women, if you are eager, desirable, then you do not incline. He explains you the remedy, so you do not incline bending totally to any one of them. That means if you've got one wife, if you're totally inclined, bending totally, Allah said, do not incline. What you do, فَتَذَرُوهَا كَالْمُعَلَّقَةِ, so leave her as suspended. When you leave her as suspended, does not mean you are ignoring her or avoiding her. Suspended, and then you can marry more than one. Now this behavior, every man cannot do it. Every believer cannot do it. So if he remains in that fear, he will have one wife in the world.